Hello everyone, my name is CJ and today I'm going to share with you why you are probably breathing wrong and what you can do about it. So what does it take to be healthy and to be living for a long time? If you're eating right and if your workout is on point, my next question to you would be, are you breathing right? And I already know the answer. You're probably not. And this is not just my view, but collectively with a lot of scientists around the world who have discovered that our capacity to breathe has changed through the long process of human evolution, and that the way we breathe has gotten worse since the industrial age. According to the data, over 90% of us, very likely me, you, and almost everyone you know, is breathing incorrectly. And not breathing well is going to make you sick and probably die faster. And guess what? All the common problems that you hear about like asthma, anxiety, ADHD could more or less be reversed by just changing the way we inhale and exhale. Breathing, to me then, is a tool that allows us to hack our nervous system, immune response, and will help with longevity. And when you look around you, most of the population is mouth breathing. However, we were evolved to breathe through our nose because there are tiny hair follicles called the cilia, which warms, cools, humidifies, and filters the air that we breathe. And when you breathe from your mouth, evidence shows that your mouth becomes smaller, sinuses get infected, and your teeth become crooked, and much more that I don't want to get into. So let's look at what really happens when we breathe. We already know that oxygen is important, right? Well, it takes about 1 minute to shuttle the oxygen around your entire body. And inside our 25 trillion red blood cells are 270 million hemoglobin, which are responsible for carrying and delivering oxygen to the rest of the body. Each hemoglobin has room for 4 oxygen molecules. That is 1 billion molecules of oxygen within each red blood cells. Let's look at the math. 25 trillion multiplied by 270 million multiplied by 4, those are just so many zeros. There you go. You must be thinking that oxygen is important, and therefore if we breathe more or we breathe faster or take large quantities of air through our mouth and instead of our nose, that should be better, right? No, that is wrong. The answer will probably surprise you. We don't need so much of oxygen, we rather need more of carbon dioxide. Well, let me explain. We learned before that hemoglobin carries oxygen to be released in the body. It can only do so in the presence of carbon dioxide. So when we tend to overbreathe, when we are stressed or between a hard workout, then we wash away a lot of that beneficial carbon dioxide, resulting in a condition called hypocapnia. And this causes the hemoglobin to hold on to oxygen. And what happens when you hold on to something? You get less of oxygen delivery into your organs and muscles. And let me tell you, when you don't have enough oxygen, it reduces your exercise performance and cognitive health. This is why I always recommend to people to breathe through their nose, even when you're working out, because this will increase the volume of carbon dioxide to oxygen, which then allows carbon dioxide to build up and loosen the bonds between hemoglobin and oxygen, resulting in more oxygen to the muscles, and this is also known as the Bohr effect. And here's the classical advice: keep breathing, breathe more to be healthy. This advice has led us to overbreathing as a population. However, when we look at ancient Indian yogis who trained themselves to reduce the amount of breaths they take, or the Tibetan monks who for their entire life are asked to breathe less and remain calm. Some Chinese doctors about 2000 years ago also advised that it is best to take 13,500 breaths per day, which works out about 9.5 breaths per minute. So you see, we don't have to breathe that much. Here is the thing, our bodies can hold up to 6 liters of air, which means when you practice slow breathing at about 5.5 breaths per minute, you can allow your body to easily store more than twice the amount that we require. Longer exhales also allow us to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which puts us into deep relaxation states, reducing stress hormones like cortisol, which have been linked to many diseases as well as weight gain. When we breathe less, we also are able to hold on to more oxygen, which automatically boosts a fitness parameter which many athletes work tirelessly to enhance, also known as the VO2 max. Increasing your VO2 max can help us be more healthy and to live longer. And you would be surprised to know that mammals outside who have lower heart rates tend to live the longest period of time. And one way they achieve this is by slowing down their breath. And guess what? Science is now finally catching up to ancestral wisdom of what the ancient Tibetans and the Hindus understood thousands of years ago. And even now, as early as the 1980s, researchers with the Framingham study, which was a 70-year-old study done on heart diseases, attempted to find out if lung size did really correlate to longevity. What they did was that they gathered 2 decades of data from 5,200 subjects. When they crunched the numbers, they discovered that the greatest indication for lifespan wasn't genetics, wasn't diet, and wasn't the amount of daily exercise that you did, but it was lung capacity. The smaller and the less efficient your lungs become, the quicker you get sick and you die. Smaller meant shorter, but larger lungs equal longer lives. Our ability to breathe full breaths was, according to the researchers, literally a measure of living capacity. Did you know that lung capacity is one of the greatest predictors of longevity? Yup, and that can be developed via proper breathing. So now that brings us to a very important question. How do we breathe right? In my research, one of the most optimal strategies that I have found is taking 5.5 liters of air into our body, which technically works the best. That means 5.5 breaths per minute, which results in 5.5 inhales and 5.5 exhales. What you should do is breathe exclusively through your nose and make sure you're breathing right into your belly. Then deliberately make sure your exhales are nice and long. With this, I have a 3-step formula for you. Step 1, inhale through the nose. And then step 2 is breathe into the belly. And step 3 is exhale slowly and repeat. If you want to live and perform at your full potential, it's time that you took your breath seriously. I hope you have enjoyed today's video and see you next week for another video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it amongst your friends and family. They could use this tip to live better and feel their best. And if you want to know more, log on to my website. It is www.shiftwithcj.com. Until next time, see you in the next video.